Hey, beautiful bag lovers. Welcome to the Bag Hag Digest. It's Trina here. If you're into handbags, secondhand, this is the channel for you. So today I'm going to share with you how many? I think there's 10 things that I wrote down, luxury items or categories of items that I will unlikely ever buy. And I hate to say the word never because that's a pretty strong word. Tastes change, situations change, needs and wants change. But for the most part, these are things that I'm very unlikely to purchase now or in the near future. So let's get started. Number one is a high-end phone case. I've seen some beautiful phone cases from designer brands, but for the most part, I don't see the point because your iPhone gets upgraded every few years and you just end up having to toss your phone case. I mean, you could resell it, but what's the resale value once a piece of equipment has become obsolete? Not too high, I would think. So phone cases, not going to happen. Plus, you want to have something that's going to protect it, and a lot of the phone cases from luxury brands are kind of just for show, really. So that's off my list for sure, and I think a lot of you agree with me on that. But then again, if I ever had tons of money and I didn't know what to do with it, I think there are better things to do with my money. Mind you, you could say that of bags in general too, so to each their own. Second item that I will probably never purchase is check-in luggage. Now I do have a Louis Vuitton duffel bag, which I absolutely adore, but this one isn't even used for carry-on so much, to be honest. I use it primarily for weekend trips to shove things in a bag for the car. Also, it can be a bit showy in certain countries that I'm going to visit. Don't like that vibe so much. But the main reason for the lack of check-in is, of course, because it gets really tossed around and treated poorly. Why would you want to subject your fancy bags to that kind of treatment, you know? So check-in luggage, nah. Third item on my list is exercise clothing or any equipment even. I didn't even know there was exercise equipment that was luxury high-end until fairly recently. But I don't think I'm going to be spending a lot of money on exercise equipment. I don't see the point. I would rather go towards exercise powerhouses like Nike and so forth, assuming they're not doing any child labor or anything like that. Generally, I don't even go for brands when it comes to exercise clothing because it just goes through the ringer, literally, when you're washing it. So nah, as long as it has the right fabrics and it lasts a while, it's good enough for me. Number 4 would be hair pieces. I know, there's a lot of clips and stuff you can buy from higher end brands, but I don't use any stuff in my hair anyway, so that's definitely not going to be on my list. Right after that, number 5 would be costume jewelry. I would prefer to spend my money on real gold or silver or platinum or any precious metal like that, which actually have value. I mean, value is only how much the consumer is willing to pay for. But when it comes to that amount of money, I'd like my items ideally to have real value. And that goes for Chanel bags too, to be honest, which I'll talk about later. But no, it's not worth it to me. There is an exception, and that would be bargain bin prices for secondhand luxury items. Sure, I'll say yes to that. And I actually do have a nice pair of Chanel earrings. Number 6 would be luxury and high-end makeup and skincare. I strongly believe that high-end skincare and makeup brands are not necessarily better. Things like La Mer or Chanel for makeup. No, I prefer to go to the makeup experts. I tend to like indie brands, like to support them. More recently, I tend to go for the eco-friendly brands when I buy, and I actually buy secondhand skincare and makeup too. I think a lot of people are turned off by that, but if you sterilize your goods and you know where you're getting them from, I've been okay so far, but if you're not into that, completely understandable. Oh, and I forgot to mention, along with the exercise gear earlier on, I don't think I would go for high-end underwear and bras and that kind of thing either. Nah, I'll go for the ones that are comfortable and that do the things that they're supposed to do and are durable. Number 7, I think, is going to be small leather goods. Now, don't get me wrong. I do appreciate a small leather good, but unlike my situation with bags, one item is going to be enough until it dies. I don't really collect them. I only need the one thing. So if you guys know me, I'm rocking my Stella McCartney Falabella today, by the way. If you know me, then you know that I only have 3 items, and they're not even leather. They're canvas from Louis Vuitton. I basically pretty much always carry a clay, damier bin clay from Vuitton for my cards, and I have a little catch-all for electronic little bits and pieces here, another one, and finally the pochette accessoire. And I don't even have a wallet. I mean, I don't need it. I have a little plastic coin purse. I put my coins in there because coins are disgusting. Why would you want to put your coins in something fancy? I don't get that. Same goes for bills, although I do carry my bills just sort of free fall in this or in the card case. Yeah, this is the silicone case to keep my coins in. But that's all I will ever need. Until this dies, I don't see the purpose of getting anything else. And again, I understand that a lot of people feel the same about handbags. Bags are my jam, so that's not going to be the case for me. Number 8 would be luxury brand shoes. Now, only retail, okay? Only retail, because I actually own a pair of Gucci shoes and a pair of Christian Dior loafers, and they're great, but I did get them uber cheap. They're men's shoes. I got them on the secondhand market. Love them. They're beautiful. They're durable. They are scuffed up because I've worn them, but actually another person's worn them, but no one else is going to know that. And so there are, of course, exceptions there. But in general, I don't think I'm going to shell out $1,000 for a high-end brand of shoes. I'd rather spend my money on shoes that are comfortable and that I'll really wear. Like for me, I know it's a little bit, you know, not high fashion, but I do love my Birkenstocks. I love FitFlop. I love Echo. I love that brand, and they're not cheap, but they're really high quality, and they're footwear, proper footwear, not fashion items. Number 9 on the list would be ready-to-wear fashion, and the other extreme, of course, would be fast fashion, and I want to be probably somewhere in the middle. Ideally, if I had a choice of where to shop, it would be from brands, retail anyway, from brands that are a little more eco-conscious, I think. But beggars can't be choosers. I'm a large person living in Japan. I have a limited ways to get clothing, so I tend to go a little bit cheap sometimes. I buy a lot from ASOS because they have free international shipping, and I can easily return what doesn't fit. And to be honest, a lot of the stuff I get from there, I make sure to check. You know, knowledge is power. You make sure to check the materials and how they're made. I've had a few misses, but for the most part, I think I've done pretty well. Most of the items I bought there have lasted quite a while and continue to last. Plus, I'm not really into clothing so much. Again, bags are my jam. The last luxury item that I probably will never buy is, and this is the only item that is actually a handbag, or the only items I should say, are a proper Chanel flat bag and a Birkin. The Birkin, because I'm not really a fan of that silhouette. I'm an old lady. I don't want to look more like an old lady by carrying an old lady bag. That's the way I see it. I know a lot of people disagree with me, but for me, nah, it's not really my cup of tea, but that could change. But if that does change, then I'll more likely gear toward another brand that looks something like the Birkin. I don't agree with the whole policy surrounding the bags too. I don't know if that's changed, but to be put on a waiting list, it's just high snobbery to me. I don't like it. And the Chanel flat bags, well, if I get a nice vintage one for a decent price and the quality is good, there's only one particular bag that I want, and that's the jumbo, because it has a long enough strap, but it's too heavy, so it would have to be a single flap, which is really hard to find. But the way the prices are with Chanel, nah. I mean, once you're getting up, you know, $5,000 or more, that's just nuts to me. I would rather spend my money in a different way. But who knows? Again, I could fall into some money. That would be great. Or my priorities might be able to change a bit because of that. But for now, I'd much rather spend that money on a fancy vacation, although not right now because we're still on lockdown. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Those are my top 10 areas. Probably a lot of you agree with me. If you don't, or if you do, please comment below and I'll get back to you in the next video. Mwah!